like to welcome you all, and to start things off before we go any further, I'd like to ask County Legislator Carla Boyce to come up and lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance. Would you all please stand?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. I would like to now ask Reverend Fowler to come to the podium and lead us in an invocation.
Will you pray with me as I pray? Gracious God, how can we measure a couple of years' worth of time to produce something like this? The time and the energy and even the financial support. People come together with the best of intentions and the desire to improve a portion of their community. And we thank you for the result. We also thank you for those things that cannot be measured financially or by time. Friendships that have been forged, relationships where another person's home is now on the map with the heart, the care and compassion that has been shown to Warren and the sadness that he can't be here today. Your grace through all of this is as immeasurable as the time and energy given to this place. May we carry forward with that sense of common devotion and continue not only to make a piece of property, but this world a better place in which to live for everyone. Amen.
Thank you, Reverend. My name is Larry Staub. I'm the Director of Parks for Monroe County, and it's truly an honor to welcome you all here today for this ribbon cutting and opening ceremony. This was a long time in the making. This park, this linear trail is over 20 years old, and it's been brought about by a lot of volunteer effort, by a lot of hard work, by a lot of people putting in both labor and behind the scenes work with grant writing and getting different financial commitments. And I'd like to thank especially Carl Foss, who's with us, and thank you, Carl, for all of your efforts. Carl and also Warren Wallace, who's not here with us. They were the first two guys that I met associated with this park and this trail when I became Parks Director back in 2006. And all along the way, they've been great partners, such wonderful people to work with, courteous, and never trying to take over the park, just being there to help us out. And honchoing Eagle projects, honchoing work crews, and it's just such a great partnership. And I know that all of you are part of that, and I'd like to personally thank all of you, and I know the county thanks you as well, because this is one of the truly unique parks that we have, where we have such a committed volunteer effort behind it. So why don't we all give you a round of applause. This park, as I said, is different from so many. We have 21 parks in Monroe County in our park system, and they're very diverse. We have one park out on Irondequoit Bay, Devil's Cove, which is only accessible by boat. And we have a lot of traditional parks, but this is a truly unique park as well because it's our only linear park from a former rail line. And 15 miles long, not too wide, but it's enjoyed by so many people and so many varied activities. So this is one of our favorites, and like I said, it's one of our favorites because it's unique and because of the volunteer effort that really created it. Speaking of the volunteer efforts and the people who have been with us from the start, I'd like to recognize Muffy Meisensall, who's with us, a former Mendon Town Board member and village mayor. Where's Muffy? There's James. Mendon Foundation President John Farrell. Village Mayor Rick Milne. Town Supervisor John Moffett. County Legislature President and former representative here, Jeff Adair. And a very special person because she was your county legislator when this all came about. And one of the first interactions I had about this back in the early 90s was when I was working in the county legislature as a staff person, and Carla Boyce came to us and said, you know, we really need to get behind this effort to turn this old rail line into a park. And, you know, people kind of looked at her funny at first, but she told us about the great volunteer commitment and that the Mendon Foundation was really behind it. And she's one of the people that really helped get this off the ground and pushed it through at the county level. So Carla Boyce is with us. And the person I'm going to introduce next who's going to speak, she's really been champion of this park and of this trail since she's been county executive, and anything that we've asked as far as resources for this park, anything that we wanted to do with an extension of the contract that we have with the Mendon Foundation, or any small thing or large thing along the way. She's been there and been totally committed, and just as she has been with all of our parks in our system. She's a true champion of our park system here in Monroe County. County Executive Maggie Brooks.
And I guess this is what they mean when they say it takes a village to get something like this done, because not only did it take a lot of village residents and a lot of resources, but it took, what, 4 county executives to get this done? Boy, I think that says a lot about the pace of government, but you know what, good things come to those that are persistent, and obviously all of you here today have been very, very persistent and very committed to this project from day one, and the result is just incredible. I'm so glad to see some young people here today, because I think this is an example of what we do well as a community when we all work together. When we recognize that history is important in all parts of our county and all parts of this community. History is important, and to be able to leverage that history to the benefit of future generations and to teach future generations about a little bit of our past, I think is important, because it all feeds into what we talk about when we talk about great quality of life in Rochester and Monroe County and in our towns and our villages. So I too want to congratulate everyone who's been a part of this. As Larry mentioned, we have an amazing park system. We're very, very fortunate, 21 parks. But I think with projects like this, we're really challenging ourselves to look at our use of parks and creating destination points for people who enjoy our parks in different ways. And this is clearly in the non-traditional category, but it's important. And I think it opens up the park system to people who may not access it or take advantage of it, because they want to be here at this site and they want to be part of this historical backdrop. I do want to mention our Eagle Scout who is here today, Peter Carosa, who's, glasses on, but I really can't see. He's standing right here. But you know what? His project organized the finished work on the inside of this house, and absolutely incredible. And I hope you learned a lot about the history of the place where you live, and certainly we congratulate you on your goal of becoming an Eagle Scout. It's certainly something that will stay with you the rest of your life. Many, many people here today who remember the old freight house when you could actually be hearing train whistles and trains going by. And I think the fact that we can preserve the memories speaks to the values and the character of the residents who live in Honey High Falls and the town of Mendon. I think the project serves as a great reminder of our past, but also provides trail users with the use of some of the only bathrooms along the Lehigh Valley Trail. And this can certainly be a meeting room for the community, and all of those facilities are very, very important. So today is not only just a proud day for all of you that live in this community, but it's a proud day for Monroe County and those of us who believe in our quality of life. And it was music to my ears to hear the phrase, completely grant funded. We love that. But we love the sharing of the resources, bringing together some of the resources of government, the labor of the people that live here, and believe me, we know it was a labor of love. So congratulations to everyone. This will be a destination for years and years and years to come, and it was an enjoyable project to work on, and everybody should be proud. Congratulations.
Okay, and now we'd like to ask Supervisor John Moffett to come forward.
Thank you, Larry. Appreciate everyone being here today. It's a great honor to be here, and I'd like to mention that this project, to echo some of Maggie's comments, that this project was completely grant funded. As a matter of fact, we came in under budget, which is a nice thing to hear from your government, I'm sure. I'd also like to recognize Muffy Meisensaw, who at the time that this project was entering its completion phase was on our town board and certainly helped us with all of her knowledge from at the county level for helping to complete this project on time, under budget, with all the above. So Muffy, thank you very much for your hard work. And along with the history portion, we have people like my dad, who's 92 years old, who spent a great deal of his childhood here when it was Rochester Junction, and there were a lot of trains coming through. Jack Lucky, some people who've been around this town for a long time, who certainly have some great stories to tell. And I certainly encourage you to listen to those stories, because they're very important to the town of Mendon and continuing this great legacy that this building continues throughout the history of the town of Mendon. Thank you very much.
Thanks, John. Now I'd like to ask John Farrell from the Mendon Foundation to come forward.
Thank you very much. And talking about Hank Moffett, 92 years old, this space now provides a meeting room, an effective place where we can get together and relive those old stories and maybe tell a few lies. So we're looking forward to some tables and chairs in here and a place to call home and begin those dialogues that are really tied to the past to the present. I'm going to tell an old story. Many of you probably already heard this, about 3 stonecutters many years ago. So, there were 3 men working along the side of the road, the stone quarry kind of situation. And a passerby stopped and asked the first man, "What are you doing?" The man says, "This is my job. That's what I do." He went on and asked the second man, "What are you doing?" He says, I'm trying to cut perfect blocks. I take pride in my work, and it's very important to me." So he passed on to the last man and asked him what he was doing. He says, "I'm building a cathedral." Well, Bob King and Carl Foss, you know Carl, years and years ago, envisioned the Lehigh Valley Trail. This is the fruit that is born. 20 years plus and counting. We're deep into this now. So we have some a rich past and also a very bright future. I would ask you to use this as a model for what good government looks like. We talked about the grant and grant writing and being under budget, that's all good stuff. But this is a great collaboration between the county, specifically the Parks Department, and this foundation, and all volunteer. No one pulls this out. Anywho, so we'll relive the past when we can, and as often as we can, but also we have to look towards the future. And the future sits out there on a set of rails in an old Lehigh Valley boxcar that came here one wintry day in January. shows you how much sense we have. But it's here. We have more track and more and ties and whatnot to put a flat car out there, and we're chasing a caboose right now. So this is the beginning, really, of Rochester Junction. They dealt with your train whistles again, unless we put one in the museum. But anyway, we look forward to collaborating more on that boxcar project with the county. We'd love to see it as a museum, an ADA compliant museum, where families, old and young alike, can come and use this as a destination. So I want to thank all of our distinguished guests and you, our public, for coming out today. We have some refreshments. There's a beautiful hospice garden just off the old train platform here to the east a little bit. You want to walk around the boxcar, I'm going to crawl underneath it. There might be some bees. And poison ivy. But really, to the heavy lifters among us here, what became a very small group over a year and a half is what put this and pulled this all together. And I'll hold my thanks I'll express that in private, but there's many, many familiar faces that literally have hundreds and hundreds of hours here to make this all possible. So we thank you all for coming out today. It's a wonderful day. Walk around a little bit. We do have some beverage and to eat. So that's it. Thank you for coming. I want to do one more thing, and it's over on the easel here. Peter Grosso, would you please, would you hold that sign up? This is going to go, we don't know what side of the building yet, but this is a dedication flag that will reside on the outside of the building to dedicate this building for a dreamer, a cathedral builder, that being Warren Wallace. Thank you all.
Hey, you can't cut it from back there. Yeah, let's just come back a little.
Are we gonna do a countdown?
Yep, 3, 2, 1. Thank you very much for coming out. I'd like to, last but not least, I'd like to thank the project manager for this project, Dave Rinaldo, the deputy director. Please walk around and enjoy